It, it's freezing cold, guys. Freezing cold. So I hope you guys are staying warm. Please do so, man. Yeah. Welcome to the channel, guys. Busy bee here once again. All right. So this week I want to talk about two things. Firstly, I want to talk about how to smooth out your skin in Davinci Resolve. Make some face refinements. And then the other thing, the other topic that's on everyone's channel right now and everyone's mind is Canon. Canon dropped a super bomb on us. They finally released the long anticipated um, camera that I've been waiting for. Remember a couple of weeks back, I told you guys I might be switching to a new brand if this camera is launched, and it was finally launched last week. It's the new R5, Canon R5, guys. Now, Canon decided to release two cameras, the Canon R5 and the Canon R6. All right, so let's talk about the R5 because that's the camera that I was waiting for the past couple of months, right? This camera is a beast. This camera's got 8K raw internal. I mean, mind blowing. Shoots 4K up to 120 frames per second. It's got in-body stabilization. Guys, and obviously the popular autofocus system. Now, I don't know if that doesn't blow your mind, then I don't know, because super awesome. So, yeah, specs are amazing, guys. The question is, am I still switching over to Canon? And the answer is
No!
I really thought that this would be the camera that would make me switch from Panasonic, but unfortunately, there are two things that I just cannot work with. The first thing is this camera is overheating, and this was made public by some YouTubers and Canon ambassadors, that have done some real testing in the field with this camera, and it overheats. The second thing is there's a record limit on this camera. Now, for my workflow, this is not going to work. I mean, I can't shoot up to 20 minutes and then I have to shut down my camera because overheating, wait 10 minutes and then switch it on again. And then after I've switched it on again, you only have like 3 minutes left to shoot before it starts overheating again. I mean, it's pathetic, to say the least. Imagine you're doing a wedding. You're shooting, everything goes well, and as soon as the bride is supposed to walk into the church, the camera starts overheating and you have to switch it off. You miss out on special moments. And time is money. So I cannot afford to shoot up to a certain period of time, 20 minutes or so. I mean, I've got a GH5S here and I've got unlimited recording, depending on the size, obviously, of your SD card. But I mean, I can shoot for hours on this thing, and I've never had any problems. It doesn't overheat. Well, it doesn't have in-body stabilization. It doesn't shoot 8K. It doesn't shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second. And it doesn't have, great autofocus. By the way, I don't even use autofocus. I'm using manual focus. So I'm not even worried about the autofocus. You understand what I'm saying? But the camera specs are so awesome of the R5, but the overheating is a problem and the recording limit is definitely a problem for me. So, unfortunately, I cannot switch over to Canon. Maybe this camera can work for you guys. I mean, maybe you don't do, long form videos or whatever. Yeah, try it out. Even maybe you don't even have to shoot in 4K 120 frames per second. I mean, even if you have to shoot in 8K, you need a super powered PC to process those files. It's going to be enormous, huge files. You have to make sure your PC is up to scratch. I mean, my PC at the moment, I've got the GTX 1070 Ti graphics card, and I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM. Decent processor, yes. Yeah, so 4K editing for me is smooth sailing, you know. But 8K, I would definitely have to upgrade certain things. I'm gonna need more RAM. I'm gonna need a better processor. I'm gonna need a, better graphics card. So it's an entire rebuild of a new PC, and these things cost a lot of money. You understand? So if I had to buy the R5, I would never really shoot. I would never really use 8K. You know, like I said, my PC won't be able to handle it, man, and the files will be too large, right? So, like I'm saying, I mean, obviously, maybe this camera can work for you guys, and I mean, obviously, let's talk about the R6. I'm very disappointed, basically, to say the least, about the R6. I mean, specs. The only things that really makes that camera a wow is now that Canon finally woke up and they've put in-body stabilization into their cameras. That's it. Other than that, I mean, the R6, it only shoots like normal 4K. It doesn't even shoot up to 120 frames per second in HD. The GH5S can shoot up to 240 frames per second in HD. So, for me, clearly the GH5S is a much better camera than the R6. I mean, come on, Canon, really, what have you been thinking? Clearly, they have not thought this whole thing through. I mean, yeah, the R5 specs are amazing, but they should have done proper testing. And I mean, yeah, they've made an official release, stating that yes, the camera does overheat, and obviously, I'll put it on the screen right now so you guys can see. This is info that I've got from cinema5d.com, and I mean, they state that obviously you're gonna have to switch it off and wait until the body cools off, and then you can switch it on again, and then you are even further limited to less time to shoot. I mean, I don't know what the thought process was. It clearly there was no thought process. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 out of 10 for trying Canon. Really, the specs are amazing, but this camera is not for everyone. Clearly, you have not won me over. So Panasonic, I still love you. Please sponsor me, please. I'm a Panasonic fanboy, if I have to say it myself. Yeah, this is my second Panasonic camera, and I love Panasonic. And I mean, I'm looking forward to the G6. It's coming out. The announcement, I think, is coming out later this year. Obviously, production will be only in 2021. But let's see. I actually wanted to move away from the Micro Four Thirds, but I mean, I don't know. Let's see what Panasonic has to offer. The other camera that I'm really interested in is the S1H. So Panasonic, maybe you can borrow me the camera and I can do some proper testing and let my people know what I think of it. But it's a super nice camera. It shoots up to 6K, and you can shoot 6K ProRes RAW if you use the Ninja 5 Atomos recorder. Something to think about. So enough about Canon, man. Let's get into this video. I want to show you something very cool that you can do in DaVinci Resolve. But Panasonic, please. Alright, so let's move over to this and let me show you what you can do in DaVinci Resolve, man. Okay guys, so I've got a clip here, and this is from one of my previous videos, and I just want to show you something real cool that you can do in DaVinci Resolve. Let's say you've got some blemishes, or you've got some wrinkles that you really not very proud of, and you want to get rid of that in post-production. You can do that in DaVinci Resolve. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. Alright, so this is just a short clip that I've taken, like I said, from a previous video. So what you need to do is highlight your clip, go to your color page, right? Now unfortunately guys, I have to just tell you guys that this is only, you can only do this in the paid version, the studio version of Davinci Resolve. Now remember, if you didn't know, there's a free version that you can download. All depends on your system. You know, if the system is up to standard in terms of their system requirements, download the free version. It's free. Download it, install it. There you go. You can do a lot of things on there. There's a couple of things that's missing, you know, with regards to the studio version. In this case, you know, the tool that I'm about to show you guys, it's unfortunately only on the paid studio version. Alright, but anyway, so if you go to your clip, right, and obviously you can see it already opens up in OneNote, right? So you can just maybe Note is already selected. What you need to do is you go to your effects or open effects over here, and you go to your search box and you can type in face refinement, right? And there you have it. So it's face refinement. So I just want to show you the before and after here. So let me just do this. Go back there. Let's do this. So now you can see in this footage, you know, I've got some blemishes over there, you know, some wrinkles, you know. I am old, guys. I'm not that young anymore. I'm 44 years old, going for 45 next year. Yeah. So yeah, you will see, you know, I've got some wrinkles over there, and I've got some blemishes over there. So if I just want to smooth that out, or maybe just soften it up a little bit, then you can use that feature. So go to your search box, type in face refinement or just face, it'll pop up, right? Okay, I'm just gonna go back here, and you drop that effect on that node, right? So now I'm just gonna enlarge my screen, and then now you'll see you need to analyze the footage first, right? So let me just reset that. So let's click analyze. It's a very short clip. You can see what happens. It's analyzing my face, right? And there we go, right? So now I can just say, you know, unclick show overlay, boom, right? So now look carefully to what it does to those blemishes. I'm just gonna go back to the beginning of this clip, and if I move the amount over here, you can see it starts to soften up those. Now be careful not to use too much. Obviously you don't want to look like a ghost. As you can see, that is too much, right? So you can maybe just dial back a little bit until, you know, it looks kind of nice on the eye, right? And I mean, obviously you can change the scale. So if I do that, I can enlarge the scale a bit, you know. Let's take it up, go back a little bit. So you can just play around with it, guys. I mean, obviously there's some options that you can do, some smoothing options, you understand, beauty advanced options. So now you can, you know, maybe just play around with it, and you know, I would rather use the beauty advanced one. But you know, I mean, obviously if you starting up with the software, you know, test it out, try it out with you know, the beauty automatic one, play around with it and see, you know, what it does to your footage. And then after that you can maybe just go to your beauty advanced option, and then if you're now an expert, now you can play around with those settings and get you the best look and make yourself go from ugly to beautiful. Yeah. So guys, yeah, that's it, man. A very short video with regards to, you know, the tip that I wanted to give you guys of Davinci Resolve. Like I said, we're gonna go deeper and deeper into the software, you know, week after week. So stay put for those videos. Please subscribe. Thank you for subscribing if you have subscribed already. Give this video a like, guys, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because we're doing this every Wednesday. On that note, guys, hope you guys liked the video. Tell me what you think of the, you know, the new Canon R5 and R6. You like it? Go and check it out. Price is US dollars. It's, I think it's 3899. I think it's 3899. That's the price. That's US dollars. It's about, I mean, I think you're gonna get it in South Africa around 80,000 rand just for the body. And obviously, if you have lenses, remember there's also a new lens mount on this, so you need to have, if you have EF lenses, you're gonna need to get an adapter, you know, to use those EF lenses. But yeah, obviously, if you have the money for that, check it out. If you like the camera and you're not worried about those overheating issues and the recording limit, then that might be the camera for you, right? Obviously, it's got a 45 megapixel, you know, sensor. So I mean, obviously, for photography, it's gonna be awesome, right? If you are a photographer. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next week, man. Peace.